जित जमे राजान सो क्यों मंदा आखिए सो क्यों मंदा आखिए सो क्यों मंदा आखिए सो क्यों मंदा आखिए
A very, very, very beautiful welcome to all of you today. It happens to be Happy Women's Day. So I want to say a very happy Women's Day to everybody, especially all the ladies, all the women, all the mothers, all the daughters, all the mother-in-laws, all the daughter-in-laws, all the sisters and all the cousins, everybody who has joined us on this special Zoom celebration. And we were listening to a beautiful scriptural hymn that says, So kyo manda akiye, jit jame rajan. Simply put, it means, why do you call her bad? Different parts of the world, maybe today in 2024 and the years to come, we will not have those kind of discrimination against women. But there were many such discriminations against women in the past. And the beautiful scriptures teach us that from women, kings are born. So why do you ever call her bad? And those were the words, Sokyo Manda Akye, Jit Jame Rajan. And I will be sharing with you today in the next half an hour or so that we have, maybe 35 minutes, basically the success story, unleashing the excellence, the chronicles of Dr. Jasleen Kaur ji, DBA, because it's a journey of visionary mindset, of resilience, of mentorship, of innovation, of leadership, of empathy, of unwavering passion and commitment to lifelong learning, and having the perfect communication skills and the impact that she has had at the age of 50 just a few months ago. So for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, this program is, of course, brought to you by TopLawyer.AI. TopLawyer.AI, if you can see on the right side of the screen, we are basically a movement to build the world's very first, you can say, 3-person billion-dollar company. And all this is being done by using the top trends of the next decade. Because like my mentors always say, we snooze, we lose. So I want to welcome all of you on behalf of TopLawyer.AI. And those of you who have the time later, please go check out our website and learn about how you can also be part of this movement to build a 3-person's billion-dollar companies. Because in the age of AI, in the age of blockchain technologies, the future of money, seva, cryptocurrency, assets, when we talk about big data, data analytics, when we talk about things like digital marketing, affiliate marketing, direct selling, or even high ticket selling and things like that, or even digital commerce. You talk about e-commerce, you talk about fintech, we talk about the new global trends that are coming up, and also the government policies that will be affecting all this. So those of you who have joined us for the very first time on all these training sessions, I would like to welcome you on behalf of AI, or rather TopLawyer.AI, and I wish that you join us for more beautiful sessions. And I'll just start off by telling you something very beautiful, since today is Happy Women's Day. Guruji says the masters teach us that Panda Jamiye, Panda Nimiye, and if you look at the left side of the screen, Panda Manganabe. Now you may not be able to read the traditional text there, but you can read the words in English, because it says, from a woman, even men are born, and within the woman, the man is conceived. When we were little babies, so, the women conceived us, and we shall be engaged and even married to women. So why do you call her bad? Now, women becomes our friends, whether we are guys or girls, and through women, future generations will come. Pando hove dosti, pando chalera. What a beautiful words. And it says pandamua, pandapaliye, panda hove bandan. When a woman dies, I mean, imagine a man whose wife dies, a widower, and then he seeks another woman for company. And to women, we are all bound, and the Holy Scriptures teach us. So why call her bad when even kings are born from her? So Kyomanda Akiye, Jit Jame Rajan. What a beautiful way of putting it. And if you look forward, it says, from women, other women are born, and without women, there will be no one else at all. And that's why happy Women's Day to all of us. Everybody down there, Pando hi Pando Upajay, Pandey Baj na koi, and Guruji says, Nanak Pandey Bahra, Eko Sacha Soy. Only the true Lord God Bakruchi is without a woman. If you understand the scriptures, and Guruji says, Jit Mukh Sada Salaiye, Pagarati Char, that mouth that praises the Lord God by Guruji is continually blessed and beautiful. And having understood that, let's end off that our faces shall be radiant in the Lord's God. Nanakate mukh uchale. Mukh means our faces shall be radiant. Tit sacha darbar, when we go to the court of the true Lord. And so today I want to welcome you once again on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful program that's going to focus on why do we call her bad. So kyo manda agye Jit Jamera Jan, when even kings are born from the women. And today, if you look at it, I'm going to be sharing with you unleashing the excellence that you can take the examples not only from women of the past, but if you look at the right side, Dr. Jasleen Kaur is a modern woman, a woman who is very, very well versed with the values of the traditional, you can say, scriptures, and yet she's living a life that's exemplary, and her journey is a visionary journey for all women to emulate. Now, this book that I'm showing you, it is available for those of you who are interested, and you can get a copy of it on the same website that I mentioned, TopLawyer.Ai. And to celebrate this beautiful Women's Day, of course, there's a sale going on, so you save about $10 or 26% if you do get it right now. It's in the form of a PDF. So the moment you buy it, the moment you actually click on the add to cart, you can actually download the entire thing and start reading it. Just to let you know, a lot of schools today all over the world are already using this as part of the Women Empowerment and Enhancement program, which I'll share with you later, because this is truly a journey of visionary mindset. And I'll be sharing some of the details of what you will learn in this book, in these courses that we follow up. Basically, once anyone joins us or buys the book, you can then come for the 3 hours of coaching, 2 days of training held in good centers all over the world. And those of you who want to become a trainer in this beautiful journey of visionary mindsets of the women, and you want to join the sweet women's empowerment and enhancement team that are having branches all over the world, and maybe you want to start a new center at your at your home or in your offices or in the areas wherever you're living around the world, we have all these beautiful franchise opportunities available for you. And it will not just teach you about how to have a visionary mindset, but we'll focus a lot on the resilience that's needed in our life. Because let's be very frank, since the times of the COVID-19, we have seen the need for resilience. And it says in the scriptures even, Munde kud muthi kureyar, oh woman, the false ones are being cheated by falsehood. So how do you have a visionary mindset to lead an honest life, to lead a life of honesty, integrity, and have full resilience to even face the challenges of the world? That's what we are going to share with you. And we will talk about mentorship. Mentorship, the need for a teacher, the need for a guide, the need for what they traditionally call a guru. So if you look at the left side of the screen, it says, oh, woman. Now, everything that I'm sharing will be the scriptural texts that are generated and targeted using the women as an example. But for those of us who are males listening to today's lecture, it is the same relevance that we should give to these quotations that I'm sharing, because it says, Munde, tu chal gur ke pai. Now, the word gur is guru. Those of us who understand teachers, trainers, mentor, and those are gurus. And it says you must walk in harmony with the will of my masters, my mentors, my teachers, my guides. And as we listen to our teachers, our guides, what will happen is we will have great innovation in our life. And we will be learning about all these skills, not only in today's short lecture, because today's lecture is about just that half an hour, 35 minutes introduction to the full program. Maybe maximum will take about 38 minutes, because that's a Chinese lucky number. And if you notice on TopLawyer.Ai, all our pricing also ends with the 88888, because the masters told us 8 is an figure. And if you look at the infinity figure means money flows out from your life, and then infinity says it comes back and goes out and comes back. So if you take the number 8 and you put it on its side and you lie it down, it becomes like an infinity figure. And we will teach you all these innovative skills of how you can build and you can be part of $1 billion company using your passion, your skills, your talents, your ideas. And you can put in lots of your time, your effort and money, and make that money grow many more times while learning the skills, while learning how to be innovative, and while learning how to have the right kind of leadership skills, because today that's what's needed. And women have a very special skill. It's called empathy. Now, if you look at the words that I've shared on the left side of the screen, she is a lovable, she is a beautiful, she is a noble woman. That refers to the idea of empathy. Women somehow at swalyo, sundari, sobhavanti nar. And these are what the scriptures teach us, that women have a natural empathetic nature. They can understand people better. And if you want to be good leaders, if you want to be good innovators, if you want to be good mentors, if you want to have resilience in your life, if you want to have a mindset that's visionary, and if you have a journey of life that's going to be perfect in every way, then maybe empathy is something that we men also need to learn from women. And I hope that as you come together, you will build an unwavering passion as you learn with us, especially from Dr. Jasleen Kaur, DBA's journey, how she basically captured the entire challenges of life with unwavering passion. Because it says false mindedness is the drummer woman. If you look at the words on the it's very poetic, it's very creative. I mean, think of a drummer woman, think of a big band on the stage, and it's not the drummer that's the typical male guy, a guy who's playing all the drums with the hard rock and all that. But imagine it's a woman. And the scriptures teach us that false mindedness, if we have falsehood in our life, then you are like the drummer woman. Kubid to money. It's a beautiful, difficult language to understand sometimes. And then it says cruelty is the butcheress. Now, it's not that butcher who is cutting away the meat and selling in the marketplace. But here, this beautiful scripture tells us, imagine we are talking about a woman who is taking those big knives and butchering all the meats. And when you are cruel in your life, then you are like that butcheress. When you slander others, even in your heart and not even with their mouths. Sometimes within our hearts, we have a lot of slander for others. We say a lot of bad things. And as you keep coming, innovative quotes with you as you come for these beautiful sessions, because when we slander anyone, it is like we are washing the sins or the bad deeds of that person who we are slandering. We'll talk about this in different topics in detail. And that's why it says here, slander of others, even in one's heart, it's like the cleaning woman. We are actually cleaning their bad deeds and their bad points. And in the last part, it says, and deceitful anger is the outcast woman. So I know today we are celebrating Happy Women's Day, but we got to take a very balanced perspective, that if Happy Women's Day talks about all the good qualities that we are talking about, then at the same time, we got to understand that Kubad to money. Kudaya, Kasayan. Kasayan is that butcheress. Remember I mentioned that? Parninda. Parninda means the slender of others. You saw that earlier. And Kat, Chudi, Muthi, Krodh, Chandal. And that is where the cleaning woman who has deceitful anger is an outcast woman in society. So as we talk about the Happy Women's Day celebration, let us slowly but surely build unwavering passion in ourselves to learn about the good qualities, what will make a good qualities oriented person, not just the women, but even the beautiful men who have joined us for today's celebration. Because let's understand, one day our soul sworn shall leave this body, and we shall only remain behind this body that doesn't move, and it's called an abandoned woman. Hans chalya tu piche rahiye, Chotar hoye nari. Guruji says, you know what? At the end of the day, It's going to be our dead body that's going to remain. But if we are committed to what's called lifelong learning, then we will learn a lot of good skills, good, you can say, beautiful values in our life, that our legacy that remains behind us, not only the body that leaves, it's left behind when the soul leaves, but that legacy that we leave to the world, the reputation that we leave to the world, it won't be like an abandoned woman, but we will be the people, especially on Happy Women's Day, like Dr. Jasleen Kaur, who is now serving as a legacy, an understanding point, a point for us to have lifelong learning through the teachings and the inspirational life that she led. So the question comes, as a woman or even as a man, what can we do? What can anyone do? Istri purk hoye ke. That's the first part. As a woman or a man, hoye ke kya Oye karam kamahi. Karam is basically the deeds that we do. Whatever we sow, so shall you reap. And if you haven't heard the last few lectures on taking accountability, taking control of our life by saying yes, whatever is happening in my life, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, financially, sexually, or in any other ways, any other area of our life, it is due to what's known as karam. We'll talk about that again later, but karam are our actions. Karams are determined by that lifelong learning of the good values, good skills, good talents, good ideas, good knowledge. Otherwise we will be left behind. And one of the strongest thing I can say is communication skill is very, very important. If we don't have the communication skills, if we do not have good abilities to share our messages with others, then I think we'll be left behind, whether it's at work, whether it's in school, whether it's in the family life, or anything else. And I'll tell you something, it says seal sanjam prayer agya mane. These are very wonderful words from the scriptures, and says this nari ko dukh na jamane. That when you have good communication skills, when you have a pure conduct, good deeds are done by you. When you have self-restraint and you make sure you control whatever you think your mind, body, and soul does, not just in the words that you utter, but in the actions that you take, then we surrender to the will of the beautiful master who teaches us all these beautiful teachings. And it says that women will not suffer at all at the hands of messenger of death. Now, who's the messenger of death? Jamane. Jamane simply means that any kinds of pain, sorrow, suffering, difficult times will not come to us in this life. Those are the kinds of messengers of death who are there while we are still alive. Because how many people feel like, oh my God, my life is so miserable, and I wish, why didn't I have such a happy life like all those other wonderful people that I know? And it says, you know what? It says basically all you got to do is change yourself, and you got to bring in all those beautiful values into your life, and then you will be able to have impact. Like this book was published just a few months ago on the 50th birthday of Dr. Jasleen Kaurji's DBA, and it will teach us how we can unleash excellence in our lives, because these are the true chronicles, the stories of Dr. Jasleen Kaurji's in this best-selling book. And if you haven't got a copy of it, you can get it from TopLawyer.ai, as I mentioned, because it says in the scriptures a beautiful line that says, Nan Saloni Sundar Nari. I may be a beautiful woman with fascinating eyes. What a nice, beautiful way to start, yeah? And it says, you may decorate yourself, like she may decorate herself with the 16 adornments and make herself appear gorgeous. Kod sarir kare at pyari. Pyari means so beautiful, so gorgeous, so loving. And it says in the next line, Bin Jagdish Bajay Nit Kwari. But if we do not reflect on the meditations, on the mindfulness, and within ourselves, we do not find time to reflect on our greatness and raise ourselves to the greatest levels of humanity, of the universe, then I want to say something. There will only be continual suffering. Bin Jagdish, Bhaje, Nit Kwari. There will be only continual suffering. So today, as we come together on Happy Women's Day, I want to say it's not just for the women, but these reflections are for all of us. And if you look at the right side of the screen, we are sharing with you the D.I.L of the Top International Woman of the Year Award winner by EY. So this is one of the beautiful things about Dr. Jasleen Kaur, that she's the D.I.L of the Top International Woman of the Year Award winner by EY. And she's also the chair person of the Women Empowerment at the University of Sikhism.com. So those of you who would like to learn more about beautiful virtues, beautiful skills, and not just the traditional value systems, but also the modern technologies of the world today and the top 10 trends of the next decade. Because if we snooze, we lose. If we don't learn, she's also the chair of the Women Empowerment at the University of Sikhism.com. And most importantly, she's also the co-founder of the Supreme Women Empowerment and Enhancement Team, also known as the SWEET team. SWEET standing for Supreme Women Empowerment and Enhancement Team. So you got to just come learn from everything. And I'm going to take a few minutes in the last half of today's program, because that was a good introduction to start with. And I'm going to share with you some of the short introductions in the last few minutes that we have, 15, 20 minutes that we have, on what is covered if you get a copy of this book, or if you join us for the 3-hour coaching programs that we have online or even offline sometimes, and the 2-day trainings and 1-week boot camps, to make sure that even in your life, you will unleash excellence. So those of you who want to unleash excellence in your life, how many of you listening to this live Zoom program webinar, or those of you who want to basically, unleash excellence later on when you listen to the YouTube, the Facebook, social media recordings of these programs, please put it in your comments below and get in touch with us, or get in touch with the leaders who introduce you to this program, and they will be able to help you unleash excellence in your life. This is so very important, because we need to learn the skills how to do that. And if other people have already achieved these things, then in the corridors of time, we need to tap on what other people have done. We need to learn from the stories of resilience, of vision, of impact, and we need to come together to let these things. Otherwise, we make mistakes. You see, when we don't learn from the mistakes of others, then we end up making mistakes ourselves, which is more, you can say, oh my God, it's a bigger cost to us, isn't it? Would you rather just learn from the mistakes of others and then use all the beautiful lessons from their lives of resilience, of vision, and impact converge, and then our life will also be a narrative that basically transcends the ordinary story of people. We will also become people who others will talk about and want to follow, and that will be a story of entrepreneurship for those of you who want to get into that, or into a story of community leadership, where you want to empower your own communities, or you want to become mentors, trainers, and coaches with us. And we look forward to all this multifaceted leadership training, because it says beautifully, "O kar kar hande jyo ran dohagan." Now here, beautifully, it says about those people who don't want to learn good values. They wander from house to house. They go from here to there, and they are failures. They change jobs very often. Their relationships are not in order. And it's like an abandoned woman. Why? Because she basically maybe did not take time, or he did not take time to learn good things, and they were stuck with evils in their life. Because whoever associates with these kind of people will also be stained with the mark of evil as well. Oi kar kar hande jo ran dohagan. And the masters teach us that os naal moh jode, os bhi lachhan laya. Os naal muh joda, these 4 words here, os naal muh joda, means those people who associate with those kind of unsuccessful people, what will happen is os be lachana laya. They will also be unsuccessful. They will also have evil mindedness. They will not have success in their lives. But what we have just shared with you, that in the corridors of time, there are also successful people. And today, as we celebrate a Happy Women's Day, we are celebrating the success story of one such woman, Dr. Jasleen Kaur. And as you get a copy of the book for yourself, you will read more about, in chapter 1, the visionary story as a trailblazer Trailblazer, how she basically has what's called a visionary mindset. And each and every one of us need to have that visionary mindset. It's called Gurmukh. On the other side, it's called Manmukh. So here it says, over the head of the Manmukh is the order of a woman. To her, he ever holds out his promises of goodness. So that's on one side when we talk about Manmukh, Manmukha. You see this word here in blue that I've highlighted? Manmukha there, Sir Jora Amar hai, Nit Deve Pala. So basically, would you like to be a Manmukh or a Gurmukh? And Gurmukhs have what's known as visionary mindsets. Gurmukhs explore what's known as forward thinking, positive outlooks in their life. And Gurmukhs will have groundbreaking achievements in the diverse roles that they play. And this is so very important because I'll be talking about all the diverse roles. And as we go to chapter 2, it will speak about the resilience in the face of adversity. You see, I'm going to give you a quick example of what's called a sati. I don't know whether you have heard these stories about sati. In the traditional times when the husband passed on, because they said she's going to face a lot of adversities in her life, she's going to have a lot of difficulties. I think this woman whose husband has passed on, she should also die on the husband's funeral pyre. So what did they used to do in the past? And this is not a very long distance past. This is literally about 500 years ago to 1,000 years ago. All these practices happened. They used to tell the widow, the woman, to go jump into the fire because you will not be able to face adversities of your lives without a husband. You don't have the resilience. But chapter 2 of this book is so beautiful because it says, Bin sat sati hoye kaise nar, without truth, without truth. Now that's what is the actual essence of the story. How can a woman be a true sati, a widow who burns herself on the husband's funeral pyre? So today we do not ask women to jump and die and kill themselves just because there's going to be lives of adversity. And I'll tell you something, this incredible book, this incredible journey is going to teach us and spotlight, although you can say beautiful chapter by chapter, you can say she has a beautiful relationship with her husband today, and her children have grown up to be beautiful, four good children who are exemplary in every way. Her ability, showcasing her ability to not only overcome the challenges in life, but bounce back stronger. So this is something so important for those of you women and even men who are facing challenges in your life. Maybe you and I need to learn about resilience, because as we do that, I guarantee you, you will move into chapter 3 feeling stronger, because it's all about what's called mentorship magic. We're going to talk about real life stories, real life anecdotes, and we're going to talk about examples of people in their real life who have gone through Dr. Jasleen Kaur's mentorships and other coaches, other trainers, other mentors that we have here in TopLawyer.com, and they have transformed their lives and their careers. And I'll tell you something, one of the beautiful ladies who joined us for this mentorship program, she says, with that, today I've learned how to be the woman of my house, to take care of my family. Greh mein mahre, ha un ke sang tu greh mein mahre. Beautiful words. And he says, Unke sang tu hoye hai jahar. And you will learn to be respected when you come to these mentorship programs, because these people are successful people. As we learn in these mentorship programs, usually they're 1 week long, but you can actually have a shorter session in the 3 hours coaching or 2 days weekend programs. And such is beauty of learning all these things from people who have been successful. Now I see some questions that are coming up in the Zoom chat. Immediately after this webinar, we will be having a tea break, because you have been sitting through the full session for the last nearly 1.5, 2 hours, isn't it? So I'll try and end this within the next 10 to 15 minutes if possible. And maybe not even 15 minutes. Let's try and do this within the next 10 minutes. And after the break, when you come back, we will be more than happy to answer all the questions that you're putting in the Zoom chat. And those of you who are listening to these recordings, send us a WhatsApp message, send us a message message on Telegrams, or just comment in the, you can see the box below the videos that you're watching right now, or get in touch with your leaders, because you may also have questions, and we will be here to help you answer all your questions. Because look at the left side, it says, such is Maya. Maya is woman, but Maya doesn't speak about one lady called Maya. Maya is basically anything that breaks us away from the universal energies, the higher levels of spirituality, anything that breaks us away from goodness, and anything that does not allow us to be successful. And Maya is also, Aisi, Istri. Istri means a woman. Ik Ram Upai. And it is said that even this Maya, whatever the worldliness that we look around, it has been created by the same Master Lord God, who is the universal master of this entire universe. And we need to learn how to connect to that master to become the innovators. And as we explore these beautiful innovative strategies and solutions to break away from Maya, that is keeping us away from true happiness, joy, then we will learn how to push boundaries, and we will learn how to even disrupt industries that will help to bring about solutions for a better humanity, for a better world ahead. And all this cannot happen if we do not have what's called good leadership skills. So in the next part of the course, we will be talking about good leadership skills. And it says that, when you have outstanding leadership qualities in yourself, you can capture anybody. And if you look at the quotation that I'm sharing on the left, it says, Jagatriya Jit Kaman Hitkari. The men of the world have been conquered by the women. They love their ladies. So here, it's maybe one side of leadership that women have, the ability to conquer the hearts of men, and then men fall in love with all the beautiful ladies. So how many of you spent a lot of money on buying flowers today, just like you do on Valentine's Day? Well. Yes, thank you for being honest, sir. I see so many hands going up. Beautiful. And I tell you why. Because here we will highlight the outstanding leadership qualities and the community initiatives that she has been sharing, in addition to the beautiful professional endeavors that she has been carrying out. Because I'll tell you something. It says, in ignorance, I cling to the pleasures of women. This is the same story of the men and the joys of Maya, the worldliness. Banita, Binod, Anand Maya, Agyanta Lapatave. And beautiful scripture says we are all stuck to all these beautiful worlds, and my youth is wasting away. Everyone here who is listening to us, basically, yesterday you were one day younger, tomorrow you'll be one day older, and old age is approaching. Death, which is a sure thing, our companions are going to come closer to us. And that's why it says, Kissa Joban. Joban means our youth is wasting away. But as Arura, old age is coming. Din Nehare Sang Meech. Our life is running out. When are we going to spend time with good people? When are we going to spend time to learn? And that's why it says, Binwant Nanak Asteri Sharana Sadhu Rakh Neech. Sadhu are those beautiful people, those wonderful people who have achieved success in their life. And it says, our hopes are that please preserve us. We are the lowly ones, niche. You see this word niche. And when we come to the sanctuary of the holy people are people who have been successful in every asset, every way in their life, in their community, who have outstanding leadership qualities, who have beautiful professional endeavors. Then as we learn from them, boom, our life will also become a life of success, and other people will say, beautiful, I need to learn about that beautiful story. So that brings me to chapter 6, which is about empathy. We spoke about the fuel for connection. Women have that. Women have deep empathy. Women have a lot of compassion. Their nature is very compassionate, isn't it? And it is a role that it is a role that comes in very useful when we talk about meaningful relationships. And talking about relationships, there's a beautiful line that says, Tagana Indri, Tagana Nari. There's no secret thread for the sexual organs and all the relationship problems that comes in. A lot of couples are facing this, and there's no thread for the women. We'll talk about all these issues in a bigger program, because a lot of marriages today are ending up in divorce because of a lot of these family issues. And if you want to if you want to have and if you want to foster meaningful relationships, then I think we need to learn about empathy from women. And chapter 6 will talk about her. And talking about this, we will also talk about just a related topic, which basically the Sweet Women Empowerment team that I told you. It talks about John Rus Ravering Ave Varowar, just like a woman has her periods month after month. And it says, so does falsehood dwell in the mouth of the false as they suffer again and again. Month after month, jute juta mukvase nit nit hoye khwar. What a beautiful example of learning from the Sweet Women Empowerment Enhancement team. And this is part of the Mastering the Art of Communication in chapter 7. We will cover that because we will dive into the effective communication skills that Dr. Jasleen Kaur has, and most importantly, how they have facilitated her impact across the various roles. Because as I shared at the start of today's lecture, Pandajamiye, Pandanimiye, for those who have just joined us, please go back and read about it, listen about it, because we talk about the greatness of the women in many, many different things, how she becomes a friend, how generations of the future will go on, how we are tied up to women, and most importantly, so kyo manda akiye jit jamera John. Why do we call her bad? Why do we look down on women? Why do we have inferiority complex among women? Why do we think men are superior? Why do we have that differentiation about men and women? Maybe also male, female children. And when we got to understand that without a woman, there is nothing else, and without a woman, that only the Lord, of the universe is there. But everyone, we need to come together to understand the impact of women across the various roles. And in the last 2-3 minutes that we have, I want to bring you to chapter 8, which will talk about the lifelong learning, a path to mastery. Dr. Jasleen Kaur always tells us that, one of her reasons for success is the commitment to continuous learning, which will be an inspiration to all of you as you also pursue this knowledge. So those of you who have not got the book yet, please get a copy from TopLawyer.Ai and sign up for the 3 hours coaching, 2-day training camps, and also the 1-week boot camps. And we'll be more than happy to help you. In chapter 9, we will be talking about your passion. What is your goals? What do you want to achieve? Because when we unleash your passion from within, then it will teach you what drives Dr. Saib Jasleen Kaur to the endeavors, and we will help you to create an everlasting impact on the women of the world, of the men of the world, and the population and the generations to come. And with that, I will bring you to the last chapter of the book, which is a glimpse to the future. Because Jasleen Kaur says, as I offer you all my insights, it's all about what the future holds. What are the top 10 trends of the next decade? And it will inspire all of us to embrace our own visionary journeys. So I don't know, what do you want to achieve in life? I don't know what you want to get in your life, but whatever it is, then I'll tell you something. It is so important. You got to come and get a copy of this book and join us for the study circles. And as we come to the epilogue of today's lecture, today's attachment, let us remember Kala Fasana Mugada Chete. These are beautiful words. Kanik Kaman Lag. It says in the scriptures that we are attached to gold, we are attached to women, and we, the fools, do not think of the news of the death. The death is coming. One day it's coming. What kind of legacy do we want to leave? What is the legacy? What do we want the world to remember us as? And so whatever it is, whatever your choice is, we will help you to achieve it, because in the final chapter, we will unfold a reflection of the 50 years of the life of Dr. Jasleen Kaur that is marked with entrepreneurship, marked with community leadership, with mentorship, and a multifaceted leadership of all kinds. And with that, I want to thank you all for joining us on this beautiful introduction to Unleashing Excellence. And we look forward to you getting a copy of this book. as you celebrate Happy Women's Day, which was written just a few months ago as she turned 50. It's a captivating journey, as I mentioned, and it will give you a beautiful glimpse to all the skills we have talked about and have a better future. So thank you once again for joining us. I will end off with this last words, just Satguru Mile, this pop away, sa Kulwanti Nar. Kulwanti is a woman of noble birth. And once you come and learn from all these mentors, you live a life of beautiful fear of the Lord of the universe. You would have had a noble birth. I am your pal G from the University of Sikhism.com, International Interfaith Ambassador. And I thank you for joining us once again today. Please share this video, like it, comment it, and forward it to all your friends so that everybody can learn from the successful story that we have shared today. And they can also have a beautiful life ahead. So once again, welcome on behalf of TopLawyer.ai, and I look forward to sharing with you more beautiful stories of success as you join us every day. Have a very